Okay, so before priming and painting and all that, it's a good thing to kind of check out to see how these pieces are going to fit together when it's completed. So, like, here's the cockpit, the nose of the ship. I'm just going to stick these together, and you can see how there's like where the seams go. You can see where the gates were cut from the sprues, the runners, and it's kind of doesn't look really nice. So that's where sanding comes in. You can use well, actually, for really bad cases like this here, just gonna cut it off carefully with an X-Acto knife. Kind of shave off the really bad parts here. There. Then later go over it with either sandpaper or this is like actually like a filing sponge. It's like a sandpaper type sponge. It's pretty nice. So that's looking a bit better. It's a lot smoother on the parting line. The same thing goes for this, the upper hull and the lower hull. Just gonna fit these together here and see what excess should be removed. So it just kind of snaps together and then you can just pop it right back off. So like this here. You probably want to fix this. Just kind of work with it before you prime it. So it'll look better when it's all fit together. So you can kind of work with those here. Just like do a pre-assembly. Just kind of stick it all together just to see how it's going to feel. How the parts kind of work together before you really start gluing it and making it permanent. So when you're doing a pre-build, you can kind of see places like this here. You just immediately just kind of stands out and you're like, oh my gosh, look at that. I need to cut this off because it's not really immediately apparent when you're just painting it. But you want to work with the plastic. Take off all this type of crap. Smooth it out before you paint it, because once you realize that it looks like crap and you've already painted it, then if you start cutting and sanding, then you have to paint it all over again. So that's useful about going over this first. But pretty cool so far, huh? Okay, so this is the forepart here. See, it's got these 4 pegs here that correspond with the 4 holes here. Just kind of fitting these together again, just to see how it goes. So I guess where's the right part? Oh golly, I'm silly. What? Oh, good grief. Okay, so it looks like there's a big gap here. This is so stupid. You know, they said that there were some real issues with the fit, the fitting on this model, and now I see why. This is ridiculous. How am I supposed to put this together? Why? What were they thinking? I suppose I could ignore this, but there'll be like this weird gap here. Oh, this is stupid. Oh gosh, this is gonna be a real test of patience, I think. So, okay, let's just pretend I'm putting this together here. Oh boy. Let's see, it fell off already. This, it doesn't even fit. This is so obnoxious. Look at this. It's not even straight. They could have made this all one long piece. They really could have. I don't see any reason for them not to. Look at this. There is no reason for this. So, maybe fill it in with putty, I guess. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Probably just have to use Tamiya putty. It looks like crap, and if I just ignore this, I mean, look, it won't even fit on. This is so... Yeah, okay, so some people on the Hobby Fanatics forum said that there were some real design flaws and bad fit issues with this model. And early on, I'm starting to see exactly why. This is really pathetic. This is really, 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 really bad. This is... Ugh. I'm not even sure if I can get this thing to work well. Sucks. Here's another part I had problems with. It was not fitting flush here at all. Now it's a bit better. It's not perfect, but like this one, I took a little bit of work on this one, but it's more or less, I don't know. At this point, I just kind of don't care. It's not perfectly flush, but this is the one that was much worse, but now they're about the same. What I had to do... Yeah, I'm holding the camera at the moment. I had to use an X-Acto knife, and I just dug and dug and dug inside there, inside this hole, in order to get it to fit in right. It just didn't want to fit, and it just kind of stuck out at a goofy angle. I got it to work though. Okay, what I've done here is I've masked off all but those little the little thingies, and those are going to be painted black. I'm going to spray paint them black. Looks like the energy cannon thingies. Here's the finished results. You might not be able to see it, but just the little energy pad thingies or whatever are the black metallic black, whatever. So just I peel off this, and the metallic silver is still on the bottom.
確かめたかったんだけどな。本当に電話のさ、これを音をさ、拾えないのか。
There. See? Wonderful. Next is, let's stick it to my finger. Just working on the, removing more of the blue stuff off of the sprues. And as you can see here, it's just really rough, so I'm using a file here to smooth it out. Yeah.
ちょっと待って、もうすぐ泣くかも。ちょっと待って。聞こえる？聞こえないの？やっぱり聞こえないんだ。すごいな。
That is so funny. Okay, Suzumushi. I have to watch this video. I've been recording these. I don't know if the video, you hear that? The song of the Suzumushi cannot be heard on a telephone for some reason. That includes cell phones. I wonder if... I'm sure the video cameras probably work. I don't know. So anyhow, I'm just filing this out. I gotta hear this, see if this will pick up on the video recorder or not. Interesting.
Mama! Mama, 何してるの今日かOkay, you have to wear a pop.
Hi, little girl.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything right now, actually.
Yes, a polite for camera.
I put the clip on this thingy here.
I see it.
Yeah, because I used the glue, but it wants to pop open, so I'm using the clips to hold it together. Okay?
Huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh! It flew! Oh my. Have to be careful, it's pretty dangerous sometimes. Building plastic.
Never like you have.
So I just remove this and it's flat. The glue helped to kind of fuse the plastic together pretty nicely. So it's a little bit of excess. So I'll just sand it off a little bit. And then this will be good for priming and painting. Okay, so I've glued these pieces together here. So it's pretty solid now. I suppose the next step will be to maybe putty the seams here. The only reason why I'm gluing this together already without painting this is because it looks like I'm going to have to putty it and then prime it and then paint it. So I'm going to have to mask off this the metallic gray parts, unfortunately, because this model is just kind of crappy. I mean, yeah, it's a Vic Viper, but dang, it's just they just did not make this right. So old pointy friends here will have to go on, and then just glue these, and then I'm gonna have to putty in because you got like this this weird crack in the middle here. Maybe kind of straighten it out a little bit. Okay, I've assembled this and I've masked off the important stuff, And I am gluing the cracks here. I tried to masking this and the silver parts here, but it's just, I won't be able to do it. I might as well just try hand painting those parts or something, because there's no way to get the masking to work right. I cut it and then it just kind of moves and slides, and it just looks like crap. So I'm not going to bother. There. So I got some cracks here though. I'm going to try to putty those in and then finally prime it. So then I'm going to have to just retouch this stuff here a little bit. Okay, so this is maybe a little bit more advanced. I'm not sure if I can really do this to make it look any good at all, but I'll give it a shot. If you want to bother with this, I would recommend not doing any assembly, just paint the pieces and then assemble it later. But anyhow, so what I want to do is fill in this crack here and kind of make it more solid looking here. So I'm just going to get a Tamiya putty here, basic type. There's an epoxy putty. I don't know what that's for, but just open this up here. Squeeze a little bit in the plate. You'll have to just listen to my daughter chattering. Okay, so I'm going to thin it a little bit with lacquer thinner. And where is my dropper? I had a dropper just now. Oh, it's in my lap. So I'm just using a Tamiya lacquer thinner here. Just give this a couple of drops. There, and then maybe keep this here. And just gonna get a toothpick. There. Just gonna stir this up a little bit. There. A lot of people, they use the putty, they just kind of smear it on. But I like to thin it out with lacquer thinner a little bit to make it a little bit creamier texture. That way, if you get a brush that you don't care too much about, you could just kind of brush it on. It's not going to be as thick, but it controls a little bit better. It doesn't make such a huge mess, I don't think. So I'm just going to fill in the crack here. I might want to paint some of it on this way too. Just kind of glot it on there. And hopefully, after this dries, I can sand it. And this is going to be a lot smoother. Oh, in the inside, I don't care about that really, because it's going to be covered up by the stuff. Although, yeah, never mind. Come to think of it, I don't know if Atelier Sai has made any models since the Gradius models or not. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna work with this a little bit more, but that's basically how you do it. And it's important to clean your brush as soon as possible because the brush is going to get all messed up with the putty and then no more brush. So it's just good to kind of clean this up as soon as you're finished. So here's the finished results. It looks crappy, of course, now, but I'll work on it, sand it down to make it look nicer. Hopefully that'll fix the major gaps in the.
Sit still, Mama.
Just glue this part here. There. Nice. Just kind of fill this in a little bit. There. There we go. Ready for painting. Okay, I just primed a whole bunch of parts. This is most of the, well, almost all of the white parts and a few of the blue parts. So, speaking of blue parts, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you see like there's this line here? I'll have to use the putty to fill in the cracks, otherwise it'll look kind of crappy. Good thing about priming it is that it shows the flaws in the plastic and where you might need to sand more. See, look at this crack here. It's not good. It's gonna look crappy. I'll fill it in with putty. Okay, after using surface primer, I used Tamiya for aircraft bare metal silver, and this is what I have. Now I ran out of skewers with alligator clips, so I'll have to just do this in batches. So this is what I've painted so far. It looks pretty sexy. And I did put the putty to fill in some of the seams here, and I need to file it down. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit longer, but it should be ready to go. And it looks a little bit more solid too. So I can't get it totally perfect like some people, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now the finished airplane, or the Viper, is not going to be silver though, but you'll see why in steps to come. Be very careful when cutting these. I almost cut these off the gate at the wrong place. You need to have these protruding out. This is not part of the gate, this is actually the part, and you cut along here and again right here to remove this properly. I was tempted to cut here because these gates are so thick. I almost made that mistake. Okay, I just thought of the obvious way of masking these little triangle thingies. I should have thought of this before, but I'm a spaz. Just apply some masking tape. I'm using a gel pen, gel ballpoint pen. They call them ball pens in Japan. I'm kind of losing my English here. I've only been here, living in Japan for about 5 months now. Anyhow, so I'm just tracing the outline of the triangle shapes. And there you go. And just lift it up and stick it to the cutting mat here. I guess it doesn't really matter if the ink is totally dry or not, but I'll just start cutting. Doesn't have to be exact, just as long as it fits the hole and covers the gray metal engine parts. That's best. So I think the instruction booklet calls these parts like a force field or something rather, I don't know, force field generator. Maybe they're vents or something, I don't know. Who cares? Spaceships are cool, that's all that matters to me. Okay, so there. Okay, looks cool. So I've already done this part, so I'll do this part here. And then just stick it onto the silver parts here to mask it properly. So, in the same fashion, I have masked both sides of each of the, whatever the heck you call these things. These science fiction-y looking thingies that stick on the ship. So this is ready for priming and painting, I think. Unless I might kind of dig out the little groove a little bit more. It's for the panel lining. I can work on that. These parts needed to be sanded flat. I primed them and I realized how crappy they looked. So I filed them down to make them a lot flatter looking. I don't know if I can get them totally perfect, but they look a lot better than they used to. Okay. Actually, I think I was able to flatten this down quite a bit. It looks pretty nice, actually. Don't see that stupid line going down the middle of it so much anymore. I'll keep working on it and do the other three parts. Okay, so what I've been doing is cutting up a whole bunch of extra masking tape here. Just cutting them up in tiny pieces, and I've been taping them all over. So the net result is going to be I will paint the airplane's color over the silver paint, then take away the little masking pieces which will reveal the silver underneath, and then it will be like the paint's been chipping away. So like the front of the wings are going to be especially weathered. The front of the wings are going to be pretty silver. Like the front edge here is what I'm talking about here. The front edge is going to be pretty silvery, and maybe not so much in the back though, because it's not going to be hitting like space things, like snails and like space chipmunks and stuff. So yeah, like this is going to be the main rudder, and see, it's kind of like it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be all paint chipped and crap. Neat, huh? Yeah. So that's what I've been up to. And here's the cockpit here. So like the front nose is going to be pretty chipped up, I think. And along the sides. Now the key is not to overdo it, or else it'll look kind of cheesy. And also you need to kind of think, think about what the model's going to look like finished, and get a feel for where all the pieces go. Because if you don't want, you want to have some balance. You don't want the whole ship to be like weathered on one side and the other side's going to look fine. That's going to be silly. Or you don't want only the top to be weathered and the bottom's going to be like, sparkly clean new. That'll also look silly. So for the top to be weathered, you also want the bottom to be weathered. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, while it's bumping into space rocks and slinkies and snow cones and stuff that's flying out in space, it's going to get kind of beat up, and that's the effect that I'm looking for. So hopefully it's going to turn out nice and not looking like a bunch of masking tape holes or something, because that wouldn't be too good. We'll see how it goes.